Garrett Alberson revealed how that first lap wreck at the Hillbilly 100 damaged his car and hindered his chances at a win. Roll this up over at stockcarreport.com. You can find the link in the description below. Alberson was one of the favorites, I think, going into the race, obviously, after winning on Friday night. And then he put together a solid Saturday night, qualifying 7th in Group A. That put him in a 4th place starting position in Heat 1. He was able to advance past Max Blair and finish in 3rd in the heat. With that 3rd place heat finish, he started the feature in 9th. However, it all went sideways in the first lap of the race. Going through the middle of 3 and 4, Joseph Joyner and Mike Marlar got together, and Alberson had nowhere to go and slid sideways into Marlar. He then got crashed into by Daniel Hilsbeck, who also had nowhere to go. We can take a look at this right here over on Flow Racing's highlight video. This is their replay.
Number 1, and we got a span of this Joyner, and we're going to have a Coleman Farms Racing caution and Garrett Alberson involved.
So unclear exactly how it started, given the fact that the camera just didn't catch it because they were focusing in on the leaders there before the wreck started happening. Obviously, we caught Joyner was sideways. Unclear if he got turned or not, but obviously he was sideways. Marlar was right next to him, and then Alberson nowhere to go, having to turn as well. And then Hilsbeck kind of crashing there into the side of Alberson, and that obviously caused some damage to the car. And Alberson shared exactly what happened in this post on Facebook, saying, due to the wreck on lap 1, the toe was knocked out and the ball joints were bent. We didn't really get to figure out what we had due to the handling issues that arose. For what it was, we had a good run, started 9th and ended up 12th. So obviously kind of looking on the bright side there, that it could have been a lot worse after the damage and the handling issues that they suffered on that first lap. And indeed, it could have been, given the fact that it was a 100-lap race and suffered all of that damage before they even completed a single lap. With the win on Friday night, Alberson had closed the gap between him and Hudson O'Neal, who was 4th in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Championship standings to 295. Obviously, that 4th place position is significant because that is who is the last position on who will get to compete for the championship. Obviously, they have their kind of hybrid playoffs involved. I think there's going to be 5 or 6 races at the end of the season following the Knoxville Late Model Nationals, and they will compete to see who will win. And obviously, they're seeded based on the number of wins they have. Each win, I think, gives them 10 points. But anyways, Alberson had cut O'Neal's lead to 295, and then even with that injured car from that first lap wreck, Alberson was able to shave off another 20 points to O'Neal following the Hillbilly 100. He now sits just 275 points behind him after O'Neal had his own troubles in the feature and managed to salvage a 16th place finish after starting in 4th. So O'Neal did actually a really good job of getting to that 16th place finish. I think at one point he was like kind of riding around back in 24th, and I think he finished either 2 or 3 laps down. So he clearly had something ailing that car, but was able to keep it on the track and get that 16th place finish. The battle for that 4th and final playoff position looks like it will come down to the wire between Moran O'Neal, Alberson, and Brandon Shepard, who sits only 220 points behind O'Neal. You can see the kind of the current standings right here. Not a lot separating Moran and O'Neal, although Moran has kind of extended that lead there to a little over 100 points now. I think we're like 115 there. If just kind of looking at those numbers, might be a little bit wrong. But anyways, there are only 3 races left to determine who the final 4 will be, and they will all take place at Knoxville Raceway beginning on September 18th and going through the 20th for the Lucas Oil Late Model Knoxville Nationals, as I said. However, before Alberson and company head to Knoxville Raceway, they will be at Eldora Speedway this upcoming weekend for the World 100. Action begins on September 4th with a $12,000 to win Twin 25 prelim. Another $12,000 to win Twin 25 prelim will take place on September 5th on Friday, before the $72,000 to win World 100 on Saturday night, September 6th. Alberson also plans to race at Volunteer Speedway for the 2nd annual Scott Bloomquist Memorial Scorcher on September 11th, and then at Davenport Speedway for the Corn State Nationals with the Mars Late Models on September 12th and 13th. If memory serves, he was able to win one of those races last year in pretty grand fashion. I forget who it was he tracked down, but he had like a 3-second gap, was able to run him down and get the win. Was a pretty exciting finish there, if memory serves. Might be thinking about something else, but I think that's what it was. But anyways, that is what Alberson has on the docket, and that is what happened with his car after that first lap wreck and why he kind of faded there throughout the Hillbilly 100, starting in 9th and then finishing in 12th. Had some significant handling issues due to the toe being knocked out and the ball joints getting bent. But let me know what you guys make of Garrett Alberson's run at the Hillbilly 100, despite suffering all that damage on that first lap wreck. Let me know in the comments below.